what just happened in Washington? Because after 40 long days, the US government shutdown is finally over. We just lived through the longest shutdown in American history, and it wasn't pretty. So, how did we get here, and what finally broke the deadlock? It all came down to the Senate, where a 60-40 vote on Sunday cracked the stalemate wide open. This was a big deal. Democrats, Republicans, even a few independents all had to swallow some pride and broker a deal. Here's what's in the deal. First, the government gets funded through January 30th, 2026. That means for now, the lights are back on, and federal workers can breathe a sigh of relief. There's also a promise from Senate leaders to hold a vote, soon, on whether to extend those Enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies. That's a huge issue for a lot of Americans who rely on affordable health insurance. But it wasn't just about healthcare. One of the most dramatic moments from this shutdown, President Trump fired federal workers, and now, the deal reverses those firings. There's also a new rule to prevent presidents from doing that again during future shutdowns. Plus, everyone who worked without pay is getting their back pay. About time, right? And if you get SNAP benefits, food stamps, the deal funds that through next year, that's a lifeline for over 40 million Americans who were up in the air about how they'd feed their families. But, let's be real, the impact of this shutdown was massive. Air travel, total chaos. The FAA had to slash flights at the busiest airports, and on Sunday alone, nearly 3,000 flights were canceled. Airlines like Southwest, Delta, United, and American all had to ground planes and cut schedules. If this deal hadn't come through, travel could have slowed to a crawl by Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, food banks got slammed with new demand as federal workers missed paychecks, and SNAP benefits got tangled up in court battles. And with warnings from the Treasury about supply chain slowdowns, the economic ripple effects were getting worse every day. Politically, this was a tough call for everyone involved. Some Democrats, like Bernie Sanders, weren't happy. They felt their party gave up too soon on health care. But for centrists in both parties, like Senators Jeanne, Shaheen, and Angus King, the thinking was clear: end the shutdown now, fight the next battle later. So, what's next? The Senate still needs one more vote, and then the House signs off before President Trump puts his signature on it. It could take a few more days, and, well, you never know with Congress. Somebody could still throw a wrench in the works. But for now, the bottom line is this: the longest government shutdown in US history is coming to an end. The government is back in business, families can get back to normal, and maybe, just maybe, we can learn something before the next budget battle rolls around. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments. And hey, breathe easy, the government's open again.